The 2021 NFL draft class has a year under their belt, and some players have performed very well and look to be future stars of the league, while others have not. On Thursday, we discussed teams already regretting their first-round picks for various reasons, and the link for that video will be at the end of this one. But today, we are discussing a few of the most underrated rookies from the 2021 class. To be clear, it is not exclusive to the first round, and of course everyone knows about Micah and Jamar and will for quite some time, but there are several other rookies that made a big impact in 2021 that in a lot of ways went under the radar, and I really can't wait to show some of their highlights from their rookie seasons, as we have, spoiler, a couple of big boys in the trenches today. So without further ado, let's begin. And we are going to start today's video with the second of the Jets' first round picks, and it is Elijah Vera Tucker. Elijah was actually the first of Elijahs taken by the Jets, and yes, they are spelled differently, but both AVT and second round receiver Elijah Moore belong in today's video. AVT is a very good run blocker, and when you throw on the Jets tape, and yes, I actually love watching Jets run plays due in large part to him, his presence out there is felt, and defenders most certainly know who he is. And when showing love to the big boys in the trenches, there's something I thought of the other day, and I don't think it's entirely out of the realm of possibilities for this to be one of the most successful offensive line draft classes, not recently, but ever. Rashawn Slater will not be in today's video, not because he's not good enough to make the cut, but because he's already a Pro Bowler and a second-team All-Pro player, so I kind of think he's too good for today's video. But then there's also Penei Sewell of the Lions, who I would be shocked if he's not a Pro Bowler at some point in his career, and multiple times at that. And Christian Darysol of the Vikings, who more than held his own in 2021. And I know the obvious signs would be to point at just the year before in 2020, with it being highlighted by both Tristan Wirfs and Andrew Thomas. Jedrick Wills did struggle quite a bit in 2021, but within that class is one of the biggest draft busts of all time in Isaiah Wilson, who played one career game and had a laundry list of legal troubles. Oh, and he was lazy and did not want to play once he got to the NFL. Truly an all-time bust in Wilson, and while Alex Leatherwood does not look good for the Raiders, he is the worst O-lineman selected currently in the first round from 2021. Let's get something clear. He is absolutely nowhere close, and I mean nowhere close to Isaiah Wilson if he cannot unfortunately get his career turned around. But with AVT, this dude is an absolute mauler in the run game, and I really think the Jets, as crazy as this sounds for 2022, because their roster, as we know, is not a position away from competing seriously for a Super Bowl, would be best to run behind AVT and Mackay and let those boys feast in the run game, and if possible, draft Tyler Linderbaum, the center from Iowa, as well. It would be quite the contrast to the Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes style that each of their teams have, where they are pretty open and say, look, we have three freaks at their position, which is also the most important position in not only football but all of sports. Try and stop us. Well, if the Jets have three linemen, these guys, they can be a very tough team to defend in their own rights. And that doesn't mean, by the way, they're going to be competing with those guys because of AVT, Mackay, and Linderbaum. Let's just go ahead and get that clear. The unfortunate thing for Vera Tucker is there's so few Pro Bowl guards in the NFL, and especially the AFC, that I really don't know if or how many he could make throughout his NFL career because of how difficult it is to even get recognized as a guard. You almost have to have a Quentin Nelson highlight reel, and by the way, for AVT's sake, it doesn't help that Big Q will probably have a spot in the Pro Bowl for the AFC guard for each of Vera Tucker's first 6 to 7 seasons, you know what I mean? But for a rookie guard, Elijah had a very good year, all things considered, and was a bright spot on a very bad New York Jets team. Next is a player who improved very much over the course of the 2021 season, and it's Tyson Campbell of the Jags. Jacksonville had a mess of a season, from the Urban Meyer experience and Trent Baalke and ruining Trevor Lawrence's rookie season. It was truly a nightmare. But within that nightmare was a bright spot, and the 33rd overall pick, Tyson Campbell, a corner from Georgia. Campbell had 2 interceptions on the year, and for a team that was not good in 2021, especially on the offensive side of the football, Campbell and the defense do have a few bright spots. And in the final game of the year against Indy, the game Jacksonville won to knock them out of the playoffs, There was one play in particular where Tyson not only stood up to Jonathan Taylor, but made a very good play in the run game, and I posted this on both TikTok and Twitter, and it was this type of aggression and physicality you love to see from a young corner. Tyson, like everyone heard all year long about, and rightfully so, by the way, I don't say this in a hateful way or I don't like him way, because I do like him, but a division rival in Tyson Campbell and the Jags were sick of hearing about the great Jonathan Taylor and how they're going to steamroll the Jags, and let's just go ahead and predict how the Colts will play in Kansas City during Wild Card Week, and this play by Tyson showed the grit and determination and the attitude you love to see in a young corner, because a lot of the time corners are not the biggest fans of tackling, and especially a 225-pound back who rushed for 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns this past year. The future is to be seen on how Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne pan out at the quarterback and running back position, but one thing I do think is for sure after a year, the Jags hit on their selection at the top of the second round in Campbell. And on one of Campbell's interceptions in 2021 against the Falcons and veteran quarterback Matt Ryan, this is key to remember, Campbell made a hell of a play on the ball as he followed Ryan's eyes the whole way and kept sinking and sinking and sinking until he jumped in front of Kyle Pitts for the interception. And plays like these are ones you either make with instincts or you don't. And for Tyson, a 21-year-old rookie, to bait a 15-year veteran former MVP quarterback the way he did on this play is nothing short of both spectacular and encouraging for his future. And Tyson will also have a new head coach next year in Doug Peterson, as that was announced recently, along with the rest of his teammates, so we will see how that plays out in 2022. From one corner to another, we go to Denver to discuss the 9th overall pick in Patrick Surtain II. Patrick was the second corner selected behind the number 8 overall pick in J.C. Horn to the Panthers, and Surtain paid huge dividends to the Broncos in year 1 in a big way. And according to PFF, Surtain had the lowest passer rating among rookie corners allowed, with just a 69.7 rating, and in a year where Micah Parsons was far and away the best rookie, Surtain was quietly a very, very good player in his own rights, and looks to be Denver's CB1 of the future. Surtain had a pick 6 in his first preseason game, and it kind of foreshadowed the year he was going to have in the Mile High City. And his first career interception against the Jags and Trevor Lawrence, a fellow 2021 draftee, was a perfect example of using the sideline as a defender, as he pinned the receiver in against the said sideline and became the receiver himself. He also had a huge game-sealing fourth quarter pick 6 against the Chargers, as at the time Denver was up 21-7 over LA, with LA in their territory, and after this pick 6 they went up 28-7, and had the Broncos been a playoff team or had a decent quarterback, everyone would have heard a lot more about Surtain for the year he had. And hopefully that happens in 2022 when he has someone potentially like Aaron Rodgers or another veteran be the Broncos quarterback, and not only himself, but the team gets a lot more love from the media next year. He had an extremely impressive rookie season, and it truly was one of the best seasons a corner has had for a debut since probably at least Jalen Ramsey in 2016. It will be very fun to see if J.C. Horn can keep up with him in 2022, as they will forever be linked, as they were the back-to-back corner selections in 2021, and Pat is off to one hell of a start to his career, and it's hard not to imagine multiple Pro Bowl appearances in his future. Next, we head to a few different cities to discuss 3 rookie offensive linemen who had very good seasons and 2 second-round picks, and to reiterate my point earlier of this potentially being one of the best draft classes ever from an offensive lineman perspective, we discuss Christian Darysol of the Minnesota Vikings, Landon Dickerson of the Eagles, and Creed Humphrey of the Chiefs. All of these guys had terrific rookie years and look to be staples for their team's future. All 3 of them, period. Creed and Landon were 2 of the best interior linemen in the draft, and especially Creed, who helped keep Patrick afloat all year, which was a huge goal for this franchise after Super Bowl 55 and how that game went. Really, all the linemen here were low-key beasts, and that will keep it up in 2022. And it's going to be fun to debate and discuss over the next couple of years of which linemen from this class are going to be Pro Bowl, and which combo. Is it going to be Penei and Creed? Is it going to be Rashawn Slater and Landon Nickerson? Is it going to be Christian Darysol, Penei Sewell, and Creed Humphrey? You know, it's going to be very fun, and I really can't wait to see how it all goes with every lineman from this class. And with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, now is the time I ask you to please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because it would truly mean the world. Until next time, please be safe and have a great day. Love you guys.